So 1 week after the whole shakeup thing, and 1 week after the whole devastation of Braun Strowman destroying Roman Reigns, and he got cheers for it, and he got thank you Strowman, and he's like, yeah. He comes out and he basically brags about attacking Roman Reigns and says that, yeah, he's not done with Roman Reigns, but he's not here this week, and you know where this is going. Kurt Angle comes out to "You Suck" chants. I wonder if they're ever going to stop doing that. Are they doing that out of respect, or they're just doing it to say that he actually fucking sucks? Because that was basically invented by Edge to say that he does suck. And Kurt Angle tries to make the excuse of, no, they're not saying it about me, they're saying it about my opponents. But whatever. He comes out and he basically announces the Payback match of Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. The main reason why I don't like this is because this was the feud that was supposed to carry onto WrestleMania and through it. But they stopped this feud to throw Undertaker at Roman Reigns, and then you're continuing this feud, which doesn't make any sense to me. Again, this feud should have carried through WrestleMania and end at Payback, but it's just like, ugh. But anyway, he tries to give Braun Strowman the night off. Braun Strowman basically demands competition, and he's like, yeah, give me competition, or else. And Angle's like, or else what? Braun Strowman just walks away. And it's like, I guess, I don't know, guys. I'm done with the novelty of Braun Strowman. I'm just done with it because he didn't even win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And he didn't even beat Roman Reigns at Fastlane. Yet we're still supposed to take him seriously as a destroyer and one that can actually topple Roman Reigns. It's just... Anyway, at least Roman Reigns was not on this fucking show. At least that was a bright side, right? So, you get Samoa Joe versus Chris Jericho. And Seth Rollins is out there commentating. And it's like, alright. This was a pretty good match. It was a standard match. It wasn't caliber to be a classic or even a pay-per-view match. It was a Raw standard match. And Samoa Joe actually came out on top with Jericho tapping out. And at least Jericho didn't pass out. At least Jericho wasn't made to look like a little bitch or whatever. But Jericho just basically loses momentum for Payback. And at least a confrontation could have happened, that or some interference from Seth Rollins himself to save Jericho from the loss, or even a tap-out loss, but I guess that didn't happen. Maybe they're going to do some hyping up with Joe. I see an Intercontinental Championship run in his future, and more on the Intercontinental Championship later. But, yeah, it's just that Jericho losing and tapping out, it didn't sit well with me. It just didn't, but that's my opinion. I just think that a tap-out was just... No. I mean, look, love Samoa Joe and all, but I just didn't think that Jericho tapping out meant... I just think that it just stops Jericho's momentum. But anyway, Seth Rollins... Alright. The thing about it is, Samoa Joe gets the microphone and he's like, yeah, it was about business before because he was a protege of Triple H, but now it's personal because of what he did to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Well, technically, Triple H gave Stephanie some head, and then Stephanie went to the table. But anyway, so now their match at Payback is going to be personal. And Seth Rollins gets on the mic and says, yeah, you're damn right, it's going to be personal. You almost made me miss WrestleMania. You injured me. Yeah, it's going to be personal. And you know what they say about Payback. It's a bitch. So, Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins, the Kingslayer, at Payback. I just hope that's a good match. Even though Seth Rollins is not really 100%, he could still go in the ring better than certain people on this roster. But, anyway. The Golden Truth was about to come out for a match against The Club, Anderson and Gallows. Yet, on the way there, they get attacked by Strowman. Again, it's like I just don't take Strowman seriously, and you take out the golden truth. Oh my God, he just took out the golden truth. Come on, that's not gonna get me emotionally involved. It's just not. Braun Strowman, you were given the night off. I'll leave when I want to. So Anderson Gallows hits the ring, and they said, yeah, they talked about Braun Strowman attacking the Golden Truth and say, hey, yeah, we're our opponents. We're left high and dry. We're our opponents for tonight. Enzo and Cass do their little shtick. Can't teach that. SHWFT soft. And this was a standard tag team match, but it really didn't mean anything. It's not like it was for a championship or a #1 contendership. And it seems that Enzo and Cass hit a glass ceiling, but they can't break it. I mean, they just lost to Anderson and Gallows in this match. But it was kind of crazy how, because Enzo Amore was on the top rope, and Anderson, hits him off the top rope, and basically, the way he threw him to the top turnbuckle, I was like, what the fuck was that? And Enzo actually gets pinned by that. And it's like, you got pinned by just being thrown to the top rope. Alrighty. I don't know. It's just Enzo and Cass. Are they ever going to get the championships at this point? I don't know. I just don't want them to be a blip on the radar. I don't want them to disintegrate like other teams, like the Vaudevillains and the Ascension. I don't want them on the same level as fucking the Shining Stars. I don't want that. But it looks like, even though they get the crowd all riled up and stuff like that, and they got mic skills and all, but it looks like they're gonna get to that point sooner or later, and it's just a damn shame. Speaking of damn shames, Miz TV, Jizz TV. Oh God. Where do I even begin with this? First of all, he gets interrupted by Ambrose. Now, look, what's annoying is that he says this is the most must-see talk show, WWE talk show in history, and it's like, no. Piper's Pit, there's the Heartbreak Hotel, there was the Funeral Parlor, there was the Brother Love show. Come on. You're going to put yourself above those. And then there was the Peep Show and the Cutting Edge, and, the highlight reel. Seriously? You're going to put... No. Just no. And I want to hear an argument for that. If you have... I don't even... Shit. The MVP VIP room was better than this shit. But anyway. Ambrose interrupts him, and he comes out, and, alright. The Miz actually tries to cut a promo here. Now, the funniest thing about this promo on this show was, in the middle of it, Blaze from Blaze and Mel Funski's podcast actually sent me a text message. Listen to their podcast every Wednesday night. They do a recap on the wrestling week, Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, and even NXT. But he sent me a text saying that The Miz is actually cutting a promo saying things to Dean when he should be looking in the mirror saying it about himself. And that's what basically it was. He was trying to, say that, okay, Miz talks the talk, he walks the walk, he acts like a WWE superstar, and I'm like, The Miz has the nerve to call someone lazy. And I'm like, wait a second here. You walk and talk and act like acts the part of a WWE superstar, but you can't fucking wrestle like a WWE superstar should be able to. Again, you have to clear that bar. You have to wrestle. You have to know how to wrestle. You have to be convincing in the ring. You can't be a pussy. 100% of the time. You just can't. I mean, even the biggest cowards actually got in there alone, and you actually believed that they could do shit. Except for The Miz. I mean, look, again, Miz is not championship material. And he tries to say that about Dean Ambrose. But Dean Ambrose is like, okay, look, I don't care about the clothes or the image or the movies and or the TV shows. He said he kicks ass, he gets his ass kicked, he loves doing this. He does this because he loves to do this. Maurice gets the fucking mic. The champion doesn't make the man makes the champion. And I'm like, your husband didn't make a championship. For those of you that try to say that he made the Intercontinental Championship something, he didn't. The Miz did not make the Intercontinental Championship anything. We actually forgot he was Intercontinental Champion until he cried on Talking Smack. And what about all his title reigns before Talking Smack when he cried? His Intercontinental Championship runs are mediocre. Less than mediocre. They were crap. But anyway, The Miz tries to say that he made the Intercontinental Championship mean something, and Dean makes it look like a joke, just like Dean Ambrose is a joke. And I'm like, wait a second. No. Just no. Dean had... Because, alright, he actually says that, yeah, 6 months ago you were WWE Champion, but at WrestleMania you're barely part of the show. Well, as far as I recall, The Miz, when he was WWE Champion, and then next year's WrestleMania, blip, gone. But anyway, it's just... The Miz had the nerves to say that he brought the championship back to the level it was, that the way he watched it as him being when he was a kid. And I'm like, wait a second. The Intercontinental Champion was the hardest worker in the company in the fucking ring. And you've never been that. You fucking pussy. You coward. Anyway, it's funny how... when The Miz was saying all his closing things, Dean Ambrose is taking off his jacket and putting things away. He was emptying his pockets. And then he went and attacks Miz and beats him down. And Maurice actually has the nerve to attack Dean Ambrose with a microphone. Yeah, the microphone is their best weapon because that's all they could do is talk. Dean Ambrose is like, what the hell was that? Turns around and it's her. Miz tries to give him dick-licking finale, but no. Dean Ambrose almost reverses to the dirty deeds, and, well, what do you know? Miz runs away again. Anyway, it's just... garbage. Just... garbage. Had to be saved by your wife. Again. Garbage. Speaking of garbage, Braun Strowman is dragging Kalisto in the back. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go, but he's coming with me. And picks him up and throws him in, yeah, you're trash, and he puts him in the trash. I'm just like, oh. So, that's what WWE and the Cruiserweight division thinks about Kalisto at this point. So, what was the point of him being part of the draft in the first place? But anyway, you had the Big Show come out of nowhere and just give a big shoulder tackle to fucking Braun Strowman and said, hey, you know, pick up someone your own size. Oh, we're supposed to take the Big Show seriously now? I'm not taking either of these guys seriously. Sorry. I missed the Giant. When the Giant was in play, fine. Or when the Big Show was the actual Big Show and a fucking threat, fine. But him against Braun Strowman, no. Just, no. It's funny how it seems that you get these people that are trying to put these other people over, and it's like, we don't even believe the person. We don't believe in the Big Show anymore. We don't believe in Mark Henry anymore. We don't believe in these monsters anymore. And to make Braun Strowman the head monster, it's like, no, dude. I just don't believe in fucking Braun Strowman. Or how much he's gonna destroy or whatever. Okay, he's not Miz level. No. He's not Miz level as far as believability, because I don't believe in the Miz at all. At least Braun Strowman can match against certain people, but I just don't... It hasn't hit me that Braun is this monster, especially if they're going to put him in front of Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is going to fucking beat him again. It's just... That's just the biggest garbage with that point. I mean, no. So, TJ Perkins faces Gentleman Jack Gallagher. And Neville makes a surprise, special appearance. And so does A-Double, Austin Aries. And they sit in chairs outside of the ring. First of all, Austin Aries pulls up a chair and sits right next to Neville. And I'm like, wait a minute, that would never fucking work. These are rivals. No, there should have been some attacking right then and there, but there wasn't. But anyway, Neville, sits far away. And of course, during the course of the match, it ends up outside of the ring between Perkins and Gallagher. And Perkins actually shoves Gallagher into fucking Austin Aries. So when the fight goes back in the ring, Austin Aries gets on the apron and Neville pulls him down. And they actually start brawling then. But it was that distraction that costs Jack Gallagher the match, and TJ Perkins does some heelish type of tactics. Well, not really. He actually just kicked the rope when Gallagher was on it, and then TJ Perkins just finishes him off, and that's it. But TJ Perkins actually left with the Cruiserweight Champion, Neville. I want to see a full heel turn, but they haven't gone that route yet. So now TJ Perkins is the protege of Neville. I want to see what happens when TJ Perkins crosses Brian Kendrick again now. Anyway. Oh God, waste of time. Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil. I thought that was the same motherfucker because of the way that they were both hyped and they're future world champions. And okay, Apollo Crews has all the athleticism, but he's not going to get anywhere as long as he's a fucking face. He's basically like a Coco Beware. He's a face, he's a spot person, he's a flipper, he's a twister, he's a turner. He has all this athletic ability, but he has zero personality as a face as far as charisma and everything like that. And if he goes heel, he will have to be a destroyer type of heel in order for him to get anywhere. But Titus is a joke, and so is Apollo. And Titus is like, you need the Titus brand. End of career. If you keep going down this route. I mean, no. The Hardy Boys, Sheamus and Cesaro, handshake, respect, or is it mind games with Sheamus and Cesaro? Because they're actually going to get their shot at the belts. And there's going to be a singles match in the evening. So it's like, yeah. It was basically a welcome back to the Hardys. And Sheamus and Cesaro going by memories of them watching the Hardys and saying that, oh yeah, but when we beat you, it's going to be a great thing. And the Hardys is like, no, when we beat you, it's going to be... But anyway, stir the pot. Just stir the pot. And mind games. Just play the mind games. If this is on a road for a full heel turn for Sheamus and Cesaro, that would be something, but I'm not sure if they will go that route. So... Now, one of the biggest parts of the shakeup was Alexa going to Raw. And you have the #1 contenders match for the Women's Championship. The Raw Women's Championship. Alexa, Nia, Sasha, and Mickey. Okay, standard fatal 4-way. But Nia Jax was pretty freaking dominant. Now, what happens at the end was kind of Miz-like. Yeah, they were in Ohio, State, and Miz is from there. But Alexa is also from the state of Ohio, and Nia Jax basically floors Sasha Banks with the fucking Samoa drop. After that, Alexa drop kicks Nia Jax, a very light drop kick, I might add, and Nia goes flying out of the ring. Alexa makes the cover. She's the new #1 contender for the women's title. And it's like, okay. Are they going to give her this belt right away? Damn. At this point, they'll never give this belt to Nia Jax. Anyway, Big Show interview. Braun needs to feel intimidated. Okay. I will teach him a lesson. Giant style. Okay. We're supposed to take you seriously? We just don't, Big Show. I'm sorry. You're not the destroyer that you used to be. Once again, I missed the Giant. Speaking of jokes and not taking someone seriously, Kurt Hawkins against Finn Balor. This was a squash match, basically. A couple of moves. Yeah, welcome. Welcome back, Finn Balor, but damn. If you take Kurt Hawkins seriously, leave a comment below. I'm sorry. I just don't. don't. And they had the nerve to say, well, he's a former tag team champion. So? Still don't take him seriously. So, Jericho actually had an interview saying that he came up short, but his focus is against Kevin Owens. And you saw the Drifter again. He's been on Raw and SmackDown, so which show is he on? I didn't see any of him a part of the shakeup. He plays his guitar as he goes by, and Jericho basically puts him on the list. So, Bray Wyatt talks about the House of Horrors match, and he controls fear, and he harnesses it, and stuff like that. But you know they're not going to give him the WWE Championship. We already know that. It's just, that's a lock. And it's sad, really, because Bray didn't even have a fucking proper run as WWE Champion. Where does he go from here? I mean, will he win Money in the Bank and cash in on Brock Lesnar? I don't know. It's just... But at this point, Bray is not going to receive any titles or title match or title shots. I will be very fucking surprised if he gets the WWE Championship, but I still don't think it's going to happen. House of Horrors match. Anyway, in a very stupid segment, you had Dana Brooke, Emma, and Alicia Fox. A very, very stupid segment. It's just... You know what? It's not even... I'm sorry. It's not even worth mentioning as far as going through it in detail. It's just not. It was just basically Alicia Fox being made fun of and Emma lying about Dana Brooke. Basically, that was the fucking segment, so there you go. Jeff Hardy versus Cesaro. Pretty standard one-on-one match. Jeff Hardy wins. And, okay, after the match, there were some handshakes by the Hardy Boys and Cesaro and Sheamus. More mind games, maybe? I hope so, because they actually fucking need it to get everyone emotionally involved in this match. And the main event of the night was the Big Show versus Braun Strowman. You talk about no emotionally involvement, it was this match. They tried to actually put on some type of match that we could actually be interested in and actually watch and be entertained, because they were even pulling off arm drags, and Braun Strowman actually did a nip up and stuff like that. And I'm like, huh? Question marks appeared everywhere, and I'm like, what are they trying to do here? They're not going to do this in every fucking match in every fucking opponent, so what are they trying to do here? But anyway, during the match, there was a longest fight over a fucking body slam ever. For over, like, minutes, these motherfuckers were trying to body slam each other and reversing it. And I'm like, end this already, please. So, you had no winner in the match because, well, what do you know? A top rope spot, a superplex spot. Even the crowd saw it coming, because the Big Show was trying to suplex Braun Strowman, but Braun Strowman kept fending him off during the match, and you even got the yes chant from the crowd. But when Big Show went to the top rope, well, what do you know? Braun Strowman goes and he superplexes him, and the ring implodes. Now, the funniest part about that was the referee was at the ropes when it imploded, and he went flying out. That was the funniest part about all that, but that was basically it. Oh, and Braun Strowman gets up and roar, and they actually had to point that out. And I'm like, I'm still not taking you seriously as a fucking monster, or as a contender, or even to beat Roman Reigns, because you failed at it before. So that was Raw, and I'm like, oh man, Payback better be a hell of a pay-per-view for Raw, even though you got a couple of SmackDown people that's going to be on it. But anyway, what did you think about the show? What do you think of my opinion? What do you think about my opinions of it? Am I full of shit? Please leave a comment below. I'm always up for a debate about wrestling. And by the way, hit that like button, hit subscribe. But this is, I don't know. Damn. Yeah, Payback will be a bitch if there are not many good matches and so on, and storytelling in the ring, and yeah. And I hope that the Jizz doesn't receive another Intercontinental title match, because he doesn't fucking deserve it. Anyway, drop kicks, body slams, throw motherfuckers over top rope, both feet hitting the floor. Yes, I'm a wrestling fan. This is the theme, and I'll see you later. Credits.